In this major, we saw some great comebacks and upsets like faze vs Navi and heroic vs GamerLegion. But today, we're looking at the greatest comeback at any major ever, and how Apeks came back from a 3-14 scoreline to win in overtime. It's round 18 and NiP starts with a heavy mid play with 2 players taking mid and a 3rd player using some utility to support, while they send 1 player alone on the B lurk and 1 alone on A to lurk. The goal for this round is to take mid and force Apeks to push into the players on A and B, since they need to win some map control if they lose mid. Apeks on the other hand have gone for a default setup with 3 on B, 1 in mid and 1 on A, and using some utility in mid to delay the NiP players from pushing mid too fast. And with the new spawns on Ancient, you have to use Molotovs and nades, otherwise the T's will be out fast. A lot is happening outside of B. Brolin uses his Molotov, then pre-fires. Only problem is that he misses the corner and JL gets to stay alive. And since Brolin only have a mech 10, this play is not good if he can't get cave control fast, since if he gets swung by a player ramp, he will lose that fight. Brolin's a little bit too aggressive on B, gets tagged big by a nade and then double swung. The problem now is that NiP do not have mid, while Apeks just gotten all the space on B site. And this was not the plan for NiP in this round. So NiP have already ruined the round before we even hit 1:20 on the clock. And of course NiP had worse guns, but I think they should have put more pressure on mid early, so Brolin wouldn't become such an easy target. NiP knows Apeks do not have a lot of utility left, and now they've set the sights on donuts, and here Styko, a little late with the utility to help Nok, gets killed. And stop, it's a great play Apeks does here. Styko shows he is the one using the smoke to stop the Molotov. This is a classic bait setup, where NiP will think that Styko is alone in donut and trying to troll them. And it's why they are not ready for Nok. Nok gets a trade before being traded, and it's a 3v3. Config have gotten a strong mid position, and his job is now just to sit and wait since NiP will have all the A site control. Config forgets to check all the corners and JK wins the duel. It's now a 3v2. But Config got a lot of information about where the 3 remaining players are from Apeks. NiP then rotates to B, and B is where the round will end. And JL with a great spam secures the round for Apeks. I love that NiP decided to rotate when they got the information instead of just planting, since CT is such a powerful position for the CTs to have when the T's are trying to take A site.
Просто вбиває, і Кіксана, ну тут вже ніхто не міг очікувати, тому що Джейль бив.
So far NiP have been great at getting the plant, but have failed catastrophically in the post-plant setups. Can they change it this round? Apeks again plays a default with 3 players B, 1 middle and 1 donut. Something I've not covered is why Apeks don't have a dedicated A-site player. A-site have so many opening and retakes are very CT friendly, as long as you got donut control. From donut you can stop mid plant, and it's why Apeks would rather have Styko in donut than backside or temple. As well as CT have a nice angle to spam and where the T's comes from. Apeks on B uses some early control to make sure NiP can't push them early, as well as do chip damage and listen for sound in T steps in case they hit the Molotov. But you can as well see that they use the nades to be able to push close, with JL taking cave with Nok and Kixen pushing down ramp. NiP have went for early spawn utility from Alexi B to help Config get early mid control, and set up with 2 players in A main, Brolin alone on B and Config and Alexi trying to take mid. Apeks gives this early mid control since JK gets smoked out, and you should never push the smoke unless you got shelf control and a donut player helping you. They can give away mid control since they have 1 player top mid behind the smoke and a player in donut. So even though NiP think they might have mid control, they still only have half of the mid control at T want. And Apeks knows this. JK hits a great shot through the smoke on Config, and Kixen early B aggression wins and kills Brolin on B. NiP's round fall flat and it's already lost, but how? Well, when Brolin is alone, he gets too passive, and not because that's his playstyle, but more that that's the way Apeks plays it. With first using utility to force him to stay put, and then pushing him when they know he's trapped. And Brolin, since he's alone, can't do much about it, and has to get a kill or 2 before he dies. JK's kill on the other hand was lucky, but it's a classic way to spam, since he holds this position and then he gets smoked. All he have to do is wait for the timing and shoot and get lucky. Good way to get a better chance of getting a correct timing is to either wait for the smoke to bloom or a flash sound to pop and then spam, since usually that's around the time the T's want to be pushing. Kixen flanks, kills Alexi B, and now just 2 NiP players left, gets stuck in main and the bomb is dropped mid. A little fun detail is how composed Res is. He's walking out and Styko Molotovs him. He does not get hit, but instead of panicking, jumping back and making sound, he stays calm and walks away to not make sound. A good thing to learn.
Він загубив 15 хелспоінтів. У нього
Ой, добиває все ж таки Джейкен, там просто шквал куль був на перших секундах справа, зліва, і нікого конфіг навіть не побачив у цьому раунді. Втрачають ще й Бролана, і це знов великі труднощі для NiP.
Двох гравців буквально відразу. Я думаю, план був трошечки інакшим, але вже як є. На хвилині 15 NiP вже змушені думати, як би засейвитись. Тим паче Кіксан вже в спині, а тут бомба.
Алексієр.
Apeks still runs the default, and why not? It's been working great so far. But they changed one thing, and that is Stico. He's not in donut, but rather pushing A main. This is done since NiP have been super slow taking it, and if Apeks gets player here, they can just forget about A and fully focus on mid and B site. NiP on the other hand is going for full aggression towards B with 3 players. Here Alexib knows that Kixon wants to push, so he sets up Braun with an early flash to take all the aggression away from Apeks. And here Braun gets a revenge kill. And this is a big one. It's been some rounds since NiP got the opening kill, but will this be enough? As soon as Kixon die, the last players on B is still in cave, since from cave you have so many options. If they want to run back to site, they can. They can swing out in hope for a kill, go for the wallbangs we see have a lot of success, or just sit here and wait for the plant and then spam. Since when you lose ramp, you don't want to run back and lose cave control. Then you will just be pinched and lose sight. Brawl gets a second kill on JL, and after Brawl Molotovs, Apeks have lost cave. But where are they winning? Well, look at mid. After Apeks players started to die, Jacob knows that he have to take some map control, and mid is the best option. Config and mid have used the kill on Kixon to his advantage and gotten mid control. But here Jacob wins a crucial fight against Config to get full mid control. Config must have fallen asleep. But it's still a 3v4. Jacob knows as soon as he gets config, he runs back. He doesn't stay in mid, he knows that he have to help on B. And here Nok is the hero who gets 2 kills and take all the attention from NiP, so Jacob can kill Res and quickly a 3v4 is now a 1v1. This round's start was all made possible for NiP with the concept of conditioning. And if you don't know what conditioning is, it's to do the same play over and over again, so the enemy will be ready for this play and whatever gonna happen next. And then you switch it up, you do the same play but have a guy pushing or a flash being thrown, like NiP did this round. And that's the power of conditioning. Now you might actually get a kill and opening a site. They've allowed Kixon to run down B multiple rounds with no issues, so for this round NiP allowed him to push to run down before popping a flash and killing him.
Флешка від команди NiP. Навк займає позицію. Ничка забирає Алексібі. Що виходить вже ситуація не дуже приємна для команди NiP. Навк ще один мінус. Останній залишається хетрик. Червоний Навк. Хетрик розпікав. Мінус 1. 1 в 1 проти Стіко. Треба перемагати. Це може бути ідеальний клаш для молодого снайпера команди NiP. Хетрик. Є мінус. Це хетрик, друзі.
NiP are now in a new setup, and I went for 3 players towards B, config in mid and rest lurking towards A. A good way to play around Apeks aggression towards B and how they bodied Brawl a few rounds already. But Apeks have known for some time that soon NiP will do some changes, as we saw in round 26, so Apeks decides that they will try something new as well. Apeks have now shifted gears in mid. Instead of allowing NiP to have it for free early, they're rushing down with Jacob and Zico. They use a flash and smoke to take bottom mid away from NiP, and then JL and Kixon plays in the same way as they always do to bait NiP into thinking they still play the same setup. But for this round to work, you will need one player peeking on shelf, while one player peeks and holds bottom mid. And we can see that NiP did not expect this, but Apeks is not done here. Jacob makes a lot of noise running back, and here Stico shines, since NiP have not seen Stico get bottom mid. And when Config tries to take back control of mid, him and Jacob cleans this kill up, and Stico can fall off, but Res, who have gotten an opening in this smoke, gives away his position in the effort to try and kill Stico. But here we have to look to cave, as see JL pushing. He was allowed his push, since after Jacob got the first 2 kills, NiP's B player rotated off, and Kixon, who had bottom ramp control, could tell JL it was clear. And here he gets to walk out of cave and kill Res. And we can see from the first 20 seconds of this round, play from NiP is ruined, and the economy. Within 20 seconds, Apeks have gotten 3 kills, and NiP have gotten 0 trades. And here Alexib tries to do something, but to play solo with the bomb when your teammate is in mid is dumb, and he gets deleted since he focused JL and did not care about Kixon, and Apeks takes the round.
Минулий раунд це було чисто виключно пістолети, але ось як ми бачимо, GKM забирає Бролана. Щось, мені здається, справа пахне, ну, не дуже приємними речами для команди NiP, як мінімум додамо. GKM забирає конфіга, ну куди ж сипляться NiP, Рес вилітає, взагалі не йде гра. У хлопця цього 14/20 статистика. І залишається останній Алексібі і хетрик. Помирає Алексібі. Невже це тільт від команди NiP?
the last round of regulation, and we have Apeks on full utility on every player, while NiP have only 2 players with full utility. NiP have gone for a slow approach, while Apeks are a little bit more aggressive in winning cave control. We can see that Brawlin is back to the regular solo B shenanigans, and Config at middle, while Alexi B, after using utility for Config to take mid, have fallen back to B to help Brawlin. But here's the problem. Alexi B smokes top mid, and JCam smokes bottom mid. And now the top mid smoke from Alexi is basically useless, and it's a waste of utility for NiP, who already going into this round had a low utility. But of course you can say that Apeks don't really know how far NiP have gotten in mid, and this smokes might just be conditioning. But when Config starts to shoot, and the smokes fades while JCam still is mid, we can tell that this did not work. If we stop at 40 seconds and overlay the minimap from the start of the round, you will see that in 1 minute NiP have not gotten a lot of map control at all, and have been playing too slow in hope to punish Apeks for aggression, and this proves how prepared Apeks was for this round and how little NiP was. The execute is happening, and Steiko spots the bomb and gets a 1-for-1 trade, and Kixen does the same. But Hattrick misses Kixen, and these misses are crucial for an AWP never to miss. And when Jacob swings back and is allowed to just walk out after being tagged for 83 by Hattrick and gets 2 kills on site with 1 HP, what are NiP doing? Well, let's go back, let's rewind to the 3v3. We can see that NiP have no smokes to hold off CT, and if they would have kept the Alexi B smoke he was using top mid, they could have used it for CT instead. So now Res have to hold it, while the last 2 players were supposed to hold Temple, and Jacob gets a kill and assist on Config, who gets stuck with the bomb on site. And NiP once again is looking at Hattrick for another vital clutch, but with 6 seconds left on the clock, both Apeks player runs away and it's 15-15.
Але червоно залишається GKM. Треба не дати поставити вибухівку, це прекрасно розуміє. Мені здається, команда Апекси це доди, друзі. Це доди. Сюди, каже команда Апекс. Шкода, звичайно. NiP дуже близькі було до...
In the end, Apeks wins in double overtime, and proves to us why they made it so far in the major. A tier 2 team showed us that everything is possible. Thanks for watching and enjoy these 2 videos YouTube told me you would like.